Hey everyone. Okay, here's what's going on. Day 29. I tried to upload the video. It would not upload. It was just messed up. I spent hours on top of hills trying to do it. Got completely fed up, and I was just done with it. You know, in introduction video, so I'm hiking it. I'm not editor and YouTube's sensation. I just wanted to show my family, friends, but wasn't gonna fight it anymore. I gave up. My wife talked me into it to try again. So if you're watching this, it worked. But here's how you gotta get caught up. My day one is February 15th, and there's a little misunderstanding about that. Some of my videos are 6 or 7 days behind because I can't get them uploaded because you don't have the Wi-Fi or the signal. So if you want to know how close you are to real world time, get a calendar out and mark it down. I quit doing chit chat like this on day 30 because I thought I was done. So the video from yesterday, if you got it, was the morning, and then a dump of pictures that I took over to day 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. And I just called it day 35 and moved on. This is the end of day 35. I'm gonna put it on the morning of day 36, I think. What you missed out on is after I climbed down to see the waterfalls and hiked along the ledge by the river. It was supposed to be a rain day, and it rained in the morning, but it didn't rain later, so I started hiking out, going to the top of the hill. The weather was supposed to turn real cold, but at least I could get some signal there. Well, it started raining on me for about an hour and a half before I got to the top of the hill. Soaking wet, set my tent up in the rain, crawled in and took off my wet gear and hung it. I got a little string I put across my tent. So my under layer, my base layer, and my mid layer were wet, and my rain jacket was wet. So I left it on the outside of the tent in the vestibule. I have a tent poles to hold up, stuffed it in there, got my dry clothes on, my puffy and my a t-shirt, a puffy, and my outer layer with the hood. And I crawled in the tent and went to sleep. I was exhausted. Woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Everything's frozen. Got down to 18 degrees. The rain jacket outside was frozen solid. My base layer and my mid layer, not quite frozen solid, but they were cold. So here I had to go and load up, put my base layer back on, soaking cold wet. Got back in my tent, or not in my tent, I was already in my tent. Got back in my sleeping bag until I warmed up enough. Went to go put my mid layer on, and there's no way, it was too thick, holding too much water. So I gave up on it, and I just put a t-shirt, the dry t-shirt over the wet base layer, my hoodie, and I left my puffy on. And then I crawled out of the tent, and everything's frozen solid. My mid layer I brought out with me. I put it on a branch trying to see if the wind would thaw it out, and all it did was freeze solid. So that was the worst day on the trail so far. As you notice, cold, wet, rainy days are not my favorite. But you know, I got moving. An hour and a half later, I was warming up, and my frozen clothes are hanging on the back of my pack, are thawing out a little bit in the sun. So, hiked all day, got to the shelter. By that time, I had put my mid layer on, and it dries out on you. When you're wearing them, they dry out pretty fast as long as you don't freeze. And my rain jacket was still frozen a bit on the sides and on the sleeves, so I wore it toward the end just to get it thawed out. Got to the shelter, unloaded everything, put my tent across the table trying to get some sun on it. It was hopeless though. So, and that's when a guy named Storm showed up. He stayed in the shelter a mile and a half behind me, so he was dry, a younger guy. I moved my stuff out of his way. We were the only two in the shelter. A lot of people just bailed out because of this. The next day, we're headed toward Damascus, Virginia. He wanted to get to the state line, but it was nasty cold and it's pretty far away. But he took off and I was behind him. I could catch him on the downhills, but on the straightaways he was faster. So we bounced back and forth all day, and we'd talk when we got close, and then we'd be separated again. But turns out we kept getting closer and closer, and it was pretty good pace, so keeping warm. Where we were gonna stop for the night, it was like 3 o'clock, and then it doesn't get dark till 7, so stopping at 3 o'clock when it's 18 degrees, 25 degrees, all you're gonna do is eat and you crawl in your sleeping bag. We'd be in our sleeping bag for 14 hours, which makes no sense. So we just kept going, and we kept going and kept going. We ended up stopping like 1.7 miles from Damascus. In the middle of the night when I went out to use the facilities, the lights of the city were all there. It was pretty wild. I didn't even know the city was that close to town, not city, but anyhow. Next morning, me and Storm got up, made it into the city, town, hiked north and did our resupply at the grocery store, and then hiked back into town. The AT travels right through Damascus. It's an AT travel town. Hiked all the way to the other side. By the time we got to the other side, it was like 9 a.m. and the subway opened. So that was breakfast. He was continuing on, so he grabbed 2 footlongs, ate one of them there, packed one out. Me, I was staying in town. If you're on Facebook, you saw my sister and brother-in-law, Elle and Denise, and my mom and stepdad. They all drove out, and they brought my new shoes to me because my shoes were, besides stinky ass nasty, they were tearing on the side, so I couldn't wait much longer for them. 3 hours each way they drove, picked me up. We went out to dinner or lunch, had a good time, talked, and that was it. And then this morning I woke up and my wife was saying, "Oh, maybe you could reload the software and do this." Well, I tried. So if you're getting this, it worked. Otherwise it's going to be over. I'll just give up on it. But yeah, I'm in Virginia. I'm real close, which means we said goodbye to Tennessee too, besides North Carolina. That was a good thing. Like I say, getting close. Tomorrow I'll hit the 500 mark. That's another thing I passed up when I didn't have my YouTube going, is the 400 miler. Tomorrow I'll hit 500. So it's a long chit chat for a morning thing. It's 9 minutes. Don't know how far I'm going tomorrow, but this is going to be my beginning of day 36, I think. I'll have to look at these numbers, and you'll see some pictures after this. And if everything's working, I'll talk at the end of the day. But now you're all caught up. It was kind of a fiasco. Bunch of freezing cold weather today. started out with 4 layers. Went to, at the end of the day, toward the end of the day, I had a long sleeve t-shirt on, or long sleeve shirt on, but I'm in shorts. So, and tonight it's going down only to 39. 39's warm. So I got rain tomorrow maybe, but warmer. So we'll have to deal with what we got to deal with. Hopefully the Tennessee weather's gone and I can start enjoying spring. Talk to you later. Just hit 500 miles on the trail. 500 done. 1,698.4 to go. In 1.5 miles, I'll be at the Grayson Highlands. That's where the wild ponies are. There's about 100 wild ponies that live up there. Hope to see a bunch of them. We'll find out later. Well, there's 3 of the wild ponies. Let's see if I can see any more on my way through. Yep, end of the day, I'm at the shelter. I got my food eaten, and I'm getting ready to put the bag in a bear box. They have bear boxes here. We don't have to hang them in trees. As you saw, I did see 3 horses and 3 of the wild ponies, not horses, ponies. And that was cool. Made it to 515.1 miles total for the trip so far. Another 20 plus mile day. I'm really tired. I'm gonna shut her down and get me some rest. It was a good day. Never did warm up real good until the end of the day. It's cloudy and damp. Tomorrow's gonna be a better day, I'm sure. Anyhow, have a good one. Later.